honor who you are? That's what we're going to talk about today. That's really what our focus is on this month, is the law of honor. So welcome to Coffee with Ken.
Good morning.
And
Morning.
we have a special guest today.
Yes, we do.
We have Jen Horling with us, who is the Director of Marketing here at Destiny Global, and we're so glad to have her. And we have Ken Brown, who is CEO here at Destiny Global, and named after Coffee with Ken, obviously. And I am Dr. April Brown, and I am coach trainer here at Destiny Global, and we're going to talk about that. Dive into, do you honor yourself? Do you honor who you are, the very essence of who you are and your identity? Oh, wow. It's so powerful to really dig deep into that and think about that. So what are some ways that you've learned or found to really honor who you are? Because we've talked about this before. We cannot honor others. We just can't. We don't have the capacity, the capabilities to honor other people if we don't honor ourselves. So how have you found to honor yourself? What ways, Jen?
Such a good question. I think for me, it all comes down to, a lot of the time, paying attention to my thoughts. You know, we've been given such a powerful weapon with our mind, yet how often do we pay attention to the thoughts that go through it, and discerning, where is this thought coming from? Who's saying this? Is it my own self?
Right.
Is it coming from something that I had spoken over me, or something somebody said to me? Is it something that I say to myself? Or is it something that my creator would say to me? Whose voice is this? And a lot of times I find if what I'm hearing or what I'm thinking is negative, that's a big clue of where it's coming from, and it's not his voice.
Yeah.
And that doesn't honor what he created inside of me. So why am I giving that thought any attention? Why am I coming into agreement with that thought about myself?
It's so true, so powerful. And I know you, as your personality, you tend to think pretty positive about what you can accomplish. But how do you really,
yes,
that doesn't
I
mean that you honor yourself, really.
It can be.
So.
Well, you can take on too much as well, right? And then you end up putting a wrong label on. So it is really about choosing the label that you're going to put on your life. You know, we just recently covered some of that at Creating a Dynasty, and taking labels off that don't reflect who we are. But Jen is touching on something so deep, is you're either following the creator, you're following the flesh, or you're following someone else. And when you're following two of the three, and the one that you're not listening to is your creator and how you were designed to be, it creates conflict in how you really operate, and you will eventually wear yourself out trying to be something you're not. So what I've learned is, as a Ruby, there are some things, because you asked this specifically, is know what I can do and know what I can't do. And the things I can't do, I bring in people that can do those things that I don't do as well. And I think that that's a philosophy here at Destiny Global. We always want to put the best person for that thing in front of this camera to reflect and teach on the teachings that we believe in so deeply. That's why we have Jackie and Carmen. That's why I have others involved. You two, right? So we have very specific people with very specific skills and talents and attitudes. And it is valuing other people as well, right? So when I can honor myself, it does enable me to honor others. But when I really look and say, what not only labels, but what do I really align myself that I know that I do well? And when I stick within those areas, success finds its way to me. Not part of the time, but always. Now, there's a journey in that process, but I have not had an instance where I have believed in myself and stuck to what I do really well, that it has not gone well. And that's powerful, right? So then you know that there's a process that you can go through, but continue to surround yourself with people that do the things well that you don't do. So it's really know thyself, right?
Oh, wow.
And honor the things that you do well. And it's okay to bring in other people with other skills to help you. That's actually one of the greatest strengths of leadership, is knowing what you can do and what you can't, and filling the voids.
Yeah. And then that's honoring them as well, because you know their strengths, and then you can honor them and their strengths of what they bring to the table.
Exactly.
That you don't have, that's just not your strength.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've had this kind of recently with, because I'm not the most organized person, usually. There are times that I can be, but it's usually I start getting out of that balance after trips and, unpacking and getting all of that and scheduling that time to unpack and the things I need to do when I get back from a trip. And so then that can pile on and on and on and on of things that I just have to put away. And so just learning sometimes that that's not my strength. And I used to think that was bad, because a good housewife would do that. But I let Ken, because he does have a lot of strengths in some areas, do some of that stuff. And I used to feel bad if he did more of that stuff, because that was my role. So
That's so good. It reminds me of the whole principle of the fact that, also, anytime we feel like, we don't have something and we feel weak in something, it reminds me of the fact that who does, even if we don't know somebody, say we have a weakness in an area and we're like, I wish I knew somebody who was strong in this area, and you can't think of anybody. Guess who does in every single instance? Our Creator. And so it literally reminds me of the passage that talks about how He is strong when we are weak.
yes.
So imagine if in those instances, in every instance, we ask Him to fill us in the areas where we're weak. So even with me, when I want to be more full of joy, who has had the most joy ever? Who has the most joy? He does. And He has the most joy in the creation of us. I mean, literally in the beginning of the Bible, it talks about every single day as He went through creation, how He said it was good at the end of every day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was good.
It was good.
It
That's
is good.
so powerful. And how we can see and view ourselves in such a different light and a different way, that we don't have to be strong in every single area. That also helps us and creates connection and community, which is so important.
Well, it honors when we honor ourselves and we honor His creation and others. It brings us in awe, as we've seen here, in complete alignment. And when there's alignment, it's able to see things that are not going well in someone and help people to see what that alignment can look like, right?
Yes.
And we know the power of what that does, and that's really creates breakthroughs in people's lives. Sometimes it's a hard journey, right? Because you really have to take off things that you're wearing that you should not be wearing. And we see that with people that come to the community and help them create breakthrough in their life to see who they are. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so much what we are about and what we want. We want you to know how you can honor yourself, but we also and create the life that you desire, and how you can honor other people, and how we can, as a community, honor each other. It's so powerful when you have a whole community that really has skills of how to honor each other, and it's so fun. It's so fun to be around people who know and have those skills, how to honor and edify and speak life, and not constantly criticize and speak death and all the other things that come with that, because it's either life or death. It's in the power of the tongue. There is no, you're either speaking life or you're speaking death.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. So we want to invite you to be able to join our community and understand that we want to honor you, and we want you to learn these skills of how to honor and how to honor yourself and how to honor others. So we have an event that is coming,
That's right, in
training that we
January.
have in January, And those dates are January 27th through the 29th. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And what a way to start the very
Yes.
first of the year. We put all these, like plans into place of what we're going to do, these New Year's resolutions. And those do not happen without making goals and action steps to take them. And then accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to help you do that to start 2023 off
Yes.
and
Yes.
just so powerfully. And so we want to invite you. The information is down below, and click on that. Go there. Get ready to come to First Steps to Success in San Antonio. It is going to be amazing. And we also just want to know that we want you to join us every single week, where you can get more tips of everything we focus on every week and month, for just little tips of how you can keep growing.
Improve
Keep
your
growing
life.
and
Improve
improving
yourself.
your life. So
That's
join
right.
us here every week. Click like, share, all the things so that you can join us. Share it with your friends so they can join us as well. And so thanks for being here.
Yes,
My
thank you for
pleasure.
joining us.
Having you
My
here
Coffee
in
with
the
Ken.
office. And thank y'all for joining us too. We'll see y'all next time. Coffee with Ken.